Gebler.
Hi, Molly Gebler,
How's it
Priest.
going?
Molly Priest Gebler.
Molly Priest Gebler, yes. Molly Francis Priest Gebler.
Molly Francis Priest? That couldn't possibly be more Catholic.
Molly Fran.
Oh, my goodness.
That's my mother.
Was there ever a contest on who could have a more Catholic name when you grew up?
I mean, obviously the priest lends nicely into that, but it was Pap before they came over from Poland. And then
P-A-P-P?
P-A-P-P.
Oh, is that right? I know a Pap.
Priest. Really? That's
Yeah.
good. I want to know him.
But they're Hungarian.
Oh, right. I'm sorry. Yes. I'm sorry.
You forgot you were Hungarian?
No. Grandma's Polish, Grandpa's Hungarian.
Okay.
The priest is from my grandpa. So
what if you're related to my friend?
Yes, because Pat means priest in Hungarian. So when they came over,
that's interesting.
They moved it to priest.
Gotcha.
So it was more English.
How was your weekend, Molly?
My weekend was
Gebler.
great.
Yeah.
I got that Fire Stick, the Amazon Fire Stick,
did that.
and I love it.
Do you
love it.
Do you stream all of your shows generally, or do you watch them on like cable or satellite?
Well, I'm currently going to transfer a lot of things now that I've got this stick. DirecTV, see you later.
Yeah, so that's why I'm asking.
Windstream, see you later. I will get Time Warner, only because you need a really strong internet to use that. So my internet right now is horrible. Plus, Windstream moved to Spectrum, and the deals are insane for a year. We're going to save like $80 a month for cable and internet.
We're about to cut. We're about to do the same thing.
Yeah.
But except I'm not even going to use cable for basic cable. I'm only going to use it for broadband. Is that what you just said?
I'll get into some nitty gritty off the line without the kids listening about my Fire Stick. Which, if people have a Fire Stick, they know what I'm talking about.
I know what you're talking about.
But yeah.
Got it.
Yeah. So, and also I was kicking it with Kenny this morning. I'm about 20 cups of coffee in, so I am so high on caffeine. It's crazy.
So you've been up since like 4.
5:30. 5:30, which is probably the time you roll in, because I think when I woke up I had about 6 emails.
I was up at 4
already. Yeah. That is not my hour.
Hour. For the kids listening at home, kicking it with Kenny. Kicking it with Kenny. Let me start over. Kickin' it with Kenny.
Yes, apostrophe.
Right.
Uh-huh.
Kenny is a dude on what, Fox News?
Fox 8.
Fox 8.
Mm-hmm.
And you kicked it with him.
On TV, he said, "I'll be back for the Molly and Kenny show." And then he said,
"How dare you?"
You all know, that's what we call it.
Is he going to replace me?
He said, "Did you see whose name was first on that?" That's the kind of people I am. Yeah, I have my own show now with Kenny.
Oh, all right. But this isn't going to replace this podcast.
No,
okay.
It's not.
I got really jealous and petty and territorial just now.
I know. There's plenty of me. If people want to check out the Facebook, at my picture, there's plenty of me to go around.
I was about to challenge Kenny to a fight.
Duel. So here's the funny thing about the show today, and then I'm going to ask you about your weekend. We did not mention once when Restaurant Week is. We both realized that after the show was over, which is live.
Yeah.
So what happens is there is a morning news show, and then they throw it to Kenny for segments. So it's a segment of 90 seconds or 3 minutes, and then we go back to the news and we wait around for 20 minutes. Then they come back to us. So we had a different chef each time do their dish. And we had plenty of opportunities to say, we said Restaurant Week, and we said 26 restaurants, and I'm always worried about my sponsors, so I gave them their shout-outs and then forgot to mention when it is. But
he's going to go back later and fill it in.
It's live.
No, I mean, he's going to say, by the way, like later, like tomorrow's Kicking It with Kenny.
You know what?
I
said the website, and our website has blown up today.
Okay.
By 10 o'clock, we had 300 views on our website. So people are definitely, and it says the day, so I think we're fine. But I was like one of those moments where like, are you kidding me? You idiot?
Well, don't be so hard on yourself, Mom.
Yeah.
You got a lot on your mind. You got a lot going on.
Plate.
You got the best podcast ever.
Lot
First of all, Is Kenny coming on the Best Podcast
Kenny
Ever?
has been asked. I told him I would send him an email with a link, and he sounded very interested in it. Also talked a lot about the essay contest.
Good.
I think with him, I'm going to maybe just email Fox 8 in general and see if, like, you and I can get on the show.
That'd be nice.
Instead of kicking it with Kenny, be on their show. And we'll go from there. We'll see where that takes us. So how was your weekend? I know you were at the Cavs game because you ran into my boyfriend there.
I did, K-Love.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. He was playing or was not playing?
He was playing.
He was playing. Okay.
Yeah, I'm trying to.
The day before, I think I put him out with a back spasm.
Yeah. You were too aggressive with him.
I was. My husband actually asked what I did to him. Actually.
It was. I'm not a huge professional sports fan, as you know, Molly, but I thoroughly enjoyed that game. And so that was exciting. That was Friday night. And then I think that yesterday was really cool. I took young Ethan and young Maya Gertzberg to several museums.
Oh,
and we
fun.
went to the Art Museum. The Natural History Museum. Have you been there recently?
Not recently.
Let me tell you something.
Cool.
If you live in Cleveland, go to the Natural History Museum right now. Stop what you're doing and go there, because they built this outdoor habitat around the museum, and there's coyotes there and foxes there. There's all kinds of crazy stuff happening.
And a great weekend for you to go because it was so warm.
Oh, it was tropical.
For Cleveland,
and
oh my gosh,
it was
great.
It was craziness.
And I love that you're taking your kids there. I love that.
The Gertzbergs are cultured, Molly.
I love well-rounded, cultured
Very
people.
well-rounded.
I love that.
And yeah. Oh, did I tell you I'm taking young Jacob Gertzberg to Japan?
You did tell me that.
Yeah. So I solidified those plans for the weekend.
I want to come back as Alex Gertzberg or one of his children when I come back for my second life or my 100th life, whatever life it is.
I don't think I'll be old enough to have kids at that age.
No, I mean, when I come back in my next life, I want to be born in as you, because maybe you're going to come back again.
Wait,
maybe, who knows?
Do you want to be born into whoever I'm going to be born into?
No, I want to be born into Alex Gertzberg, because Alex Gertzberg might have another life. No? Is that how it works?
I don't know. I don't know where I get that. Where we'll be at that.
Well, here's somewhere else you have
point.
to take the kids.
Yeah.
The Metro Parks guy was our speaker for the lunch, and that was phenomenal. He shared hidden gems throughout the Metro Parks, which we take for granted. But somebody that was just moved here from New York City was saying, Clevelanders really need to appreciate these parks and all that they offer.
They're amazing parks.
You can go and I believe it's Brecksville. Yeah. I'll find out. I'll put a link where you could put birdseed, and they've trained the chickadees to come and eat off your hands.
That is cool.
Yes.
I know that yesterday, because this was one of our options, the North Chagrin Reservation had an owl thing.
Yes, they did.
You know what they called it?
Yes, he was promoting it, but I don't remember.
They called it the Owl Hootenanny.
Yes, yes.
Oh, that's so clever, you Metro Parks people.
I mean, tobogganing and those chutes.
Yeah. Too far away, though.
Zip lining.
Yeah.
I mean, so many amazing things.
There's good hiking in these parts.
And Squires Castle, he was just saying, kind of had an uplift, and, it's...
So, we've convinced Maya that that's Cinderella's castle.
Oh.
We've gone there. She goes bananas. She loses her mind.
Why don't we get Second Star to the Right to be there one day in the window?
Second Star to the Right.
They're the group that dresses up like the princesses.
Oh,
she could be in the window as Rapunzel.
Goodness.
Holy Moses!
She would lose.
She would flip it, or Frozen. They could be Frozen people. And to be honest with you, I don't remember what else I did this weekend. I went to Kent to see my daughter.
That's lovely.
My older daughter.
How is she doing? Well,
she's good.
Good.
She's good.
What's she studying over there?
Fashion.
Fashion.
Yeah, she's in a fashion program.
Really?
Yeah. She's going to
That
Paris.
makes sense.
Where you?
I
was
remember
a celebrity
you telling me
guest. That was my celebrity co-star Nellie that was here when we talked about that.
Gotcha.
Yeah, so that's really all I did. I think. Isn't that bad? Is that because I don't read that I can't remember what I did this weekend?
Hold on, this might be our guest. this our guest? Hi.
Hello.
Come on in.
Hi.
We were just getting ready to talk about you. I'm Alex.
Hi, Alex. I'm Kimberly.
Hi, Kimberly.
Nice to meet you.
Hi,
Hey,
Kimberly.
lady. How are you?
Good. How are you?
Good. I come
good.
bearing cookies and cold pressed juice.
Standing invitation.
I've got the new Black Magic Lemonade.
Black man. I'm gonna have to go get another
Is
cup.
that-
Citrus Elixir.
Would you
And
stop it, Kim?
Escapade. So you have cookies and juice.
Oh,
What a
damn.
combination.
I'm not going to tell the other guests, but you're officially my favorite guest.
Here's the deal with these. You do these for the lantern.
Yeah.
And there is a camera when Molly goes to Lantern and sees Daddy every day. And they're definitely just feeding my cookies.
Nice.
That's all I do. I just take, every time I go see my dad, I'm like, oh, there's a cookie.
Nice.
Cookie.
Do those have any dairy in it?
Yeah.
Wait, here, put this on first.
Yes.
They do?
Yeah. Are you a dairy free?
Well, here, I want to get your thoughts on this.
Okay.
So I've been experimenting with, I've had no dairy for like 2 months, right?
And what prompted this?
All right, so there's this nutritionist in this building, right?
We call her
Molly calls her Blondie.
because she's blonde.
Yeah,
She like a hot little number, like a blonde.
maybe.
One of those nutritionists.
Cheers.
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 Thank you.
Thank you, Kim. Do you go by Kim or
Kimberly.
Kimberly?
I've never been in here.
You haven't?
No.
Well, you're in the biggest room in it.
Hmm.
Everything else is just smaller and downhill from here.
That's nice.
Oh, man. Oh, wait a second. You know a lot about wine. Is this good wine?
This is good wine.
Is it?
You know what I tell people? It's like you can have a $7 bottle of wine and it tastes just as good as a $300 bottle of wine.
I
It's
love
what you
$7
want.
wine.
If it's good juice, it's good juice.
Mm.
My favorite
Write that
one.
down.
My favorite is it's like $16.66.
Yeah.
Evolution.
Evolution?
Oh, I've seen that.
Evolution by Soko Blosser.
Yeah,
It's like a bunch of white varietals. It used to be Evolution number 9 after a Beatles song, but now there's 12 different varietals in it. But it's excellent. You should try it.
Varietals.
Varietals. I rely heavily on what the Heinen's brothers decide goes in that one section where it's $10 wine.
$10 bin? Me too.
Well, yeah, and then they tell you this is hand-picked $10 wine.
They do a great job.
Yeah.
I'm all about their wine selection. Their beer, their wine, they do a great job.
They do. They totally do a great job. Okay, by the way, we're totally rolling.
But we edit, so it's okay.
We sort of edit.
Sort of edit.
I love Heinen so much.
So we were about to introduce you, right? But now you're here, so we get to introduce you right to your face, which is
cool.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Alex Gerthberg.
Hi, Molly.
We are here. Hi, Alex Gerthberg. We're here with Kimberly McCune.
Yeah.
Gibson.
Yeah.
And I'm telling you what.
It's about to get real.
It is about to get real. If there is
Real crazy.
real crazy, Nellie, whatever noise you use for crazy, plug it in right now.
I already know she's gonna use like that whistle, that clown whistle. This is not that kind of crazy. You should use like heavy metal.
This is like a blender crazy, like a food processor.
Well, you don't just go around calling yourself culinary assassin.
No.
Right? Unless you can back that up.
You've been on my LinkedIn profile, I can see.
That is Nellie,
We've
our
sent stalkers.
producer. Yes. She does great research.
Right.
Great research. So, Kim, who are you? And just start with the who are you? Who are you?
Kimberly Gibson.
Culinary assassin.
Dishwasher, food prepper, cashier, lover of all things Chagrin Falls.
Nice. Winner of a Rotary Scholarship back when you were a senior at Kenston High School.
Yes.
And that's when you started the plan to be a business owner?
You know, growing up in the community, I'm one of those people that was very fortunate. 2 parents that really supported me, a community that supported me, and I always knew I'd move back to the community that gave me so much. My senior year of high school, I got a nice college scholarship. I attended the Culinary Institute of America, and my freshman year of college, I applied for it again, and I got it again. And I think without that, I probably would not have been able to attend CIA.
Without the Rotary Scholarship.
Right.
That's crazy. And recently, if we did our homework correctly, you not only thanked the Rotary by replacing that money back into their till, you then gave them...
I pledged it every year for the next 5 years.
Wow.
That is awesome.
That is awesome.
You know, and I think about it, I wish more things were going on like that in our community. I mean, more people being involved in Rotary. I'm a huge cheerleader for their causes. You know, anything with community growth and taking care of our young people to give them those resources that they need. I mean, I hate tooting my horn, but beep, beep. I mean, I am a total, I am exactly what my community, I mean, I don't even know how to say it, and I get choked up talking about it, but without that community support, I couldn't have done it. And then knowing I had all those cheerleaders behind me when I was away in New York and staging and working for free and broke, you know, I knew I had this group of people behind me from my town just cheering me on.
And you not only, you know, from that moment from the moment you received it to the moment you gave it back, there's a lot that happened in between there.
A lot.
Can we, I think that we need to just right up front go through this list because it's a crazy list, right? So, like...
I haven't seen the list.
You're about to hear it.
Is it going to be like true, false,
no.
true?
Well,
we should
if you posted true and false, yes, yes. And we do want to mention, and I will take a picture, and it's going to go on Facebook, the cookies that we were enjoying, courtesy of Hungry Bee, and juice, I'm assuming courtesy of Cultivate.
From Cultivate.
Which is a brand new restaurant, but we will get into that. But if you hear me chomping, it's because I'm going on my second or third cookie during this broadcast. But go ahead.
So, restaurant owner, multiple restaurants or catering businesses owner, right?
Yes.
Beehive, what is that? You know what an apiary is? I just heard this word for the first time just now.
She's going to tell me.
So that's a beehive.
My father is one of the largest beekeepers in Ohio. Okay. So I am the beekeeper's daughter.
In Bainbridge area?
In Ohio.
But
so he has a lot of hives in Jaga County and then in Hunting Valley. We lease them to independent farmers and growers for orchard pollination.
And there's just something recently that was going to change the law on beekeeping, yes?
I think like urban beekeeping, you know, you can have X amount of hives. You know, we even have hives on the roof of the Cleveland Clinic right now, so that's fun.
I want to come back. I've got all kinds of questions about beehives.
I know.
Yeah.
Right? But, okay, so the McCune family apiaries, right? The Blue Cooler Project, right, where you're just giving away food. And a craft beer manufacturer, right? Rehive Ale. Contestant on Fat Chef at the Food Network.
I tried to get them to change the name to Trimming the Fat.
That's awesome. Lost more than 27 pounds right on television. That's amazing.
This is the worst experience of my life. I'm not going to lie. It was horrible.
Oh, man. 16 weeks. 16-week program designed for busy culinary professionals.
It was like Fat Chef, not Fat Chef. It was like Biggest Loser. We had the Biggest Loser trainers. The only difference is they followed us in our day-to-day lives, came to work with us. Like, we didn't get to go to the ranch and be coddled. Like, I would have lost 80 pounds if we went to the ranch.
Let me finish this list, right? And then we're going to unpack them.
Okay.
Right?
4 languages.
4 languages, and one of them is culinary Spanish, which I thought would be like just Spanish, but no.
I think if you would have said that like 8 years ago, I would have been like, totally true, totally true. I'm really like, I can speak English and I can do like some culinary languages, and that's about it at this point.
I appreciate your candor, Kimberly.
Yes.
I would have been like, I speak all 4 languages fluently. Test me. Molly and I would just look at
cookie number 2, folks. Go ahead.
Was First Lady Obama's Let's Move representative, right? Mm-hmm. and a level 2 sommelier. Does it sound like I speak French?
Yeah, it does.
Thank you.
That was smooth.
Hey, Molly speaks French.
Oh, my gosh.
She knows this word that no other French person knows. You want to know what it is?
What is it?
It's léprosy. But in
You're
English,
a loser.
It's leprosy.
I thought he was going to say something dirty, so.
Oh man, no, that was Molly's word in Cards Against
Humanity. Give me
Humanity.
that treat for your daughter and the rest of the week T-shirt back.
Oh, I'm honoring you with that by making fun of you with that.
Every episode we bring that up.
What?
Every episode.
Yeah, Molly.
I read the card wrong.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it was.
She said, I think I've got a French word, and it was
I
leprosy.
did not say. Now you're just adding.
Did I
crap.
say you think you have a French word?
No, that came afterwards.
Okay.
I said I don't know that word, and did I say leprosy?
Yes, you said leprosy. Yes. That's right. And I said, oh, it must be a French word. Anywho, I'm going to bring that up every podcast.
Oh, I'm going to find
leprosy.
Alex Gertzberg's wife, I am calling you to get some dirt.
Well, one of the things we decided we were going to, from now on, ask our guests, right, and which we can include with each other, is an embarrassing story that no one else knows.
Well, you're beating that one with a dead horse.
I've already put that out there, so you can't use it.
All right,
so Kimberly,
keep going about Kimberly.
Embarrassing. Right. Is it a G-rated story?
No, it could be as dirty as you want it.
I know, like, the rules of, like, TV and radio, the 7 words you're not allowed to say, that probably goes with podcasts as well.
Probably. We just...
I don't think so.
We just laid these. We said...
I don't think this is FCC regulated.
Yeah, we said B, we said S is okay.
That's right. We made rules. That's right. No F-bombs.
You can't say the F's or the C's, right?
Right.
But that's pretty much it.
Rule. That was pretty much it. Right. Yeah. That's something we agreed upon.
We said S is okay and A is okay.
And no politics, but although we will discuss it a little bit, but we won't take sides on it.
Yes.
President Trump, a personal friend of yours,
no.
Kimberly, but you did cook for him and his family.
It's okay to say, he is our president. Let's move on.
Yep. That's what I'm saying. Yes. He's our you know what? People walking around, not my president. Do you live here?
Yeah,
he's your president.
I only bring it up because you were a chef at the RNC and cooked for his family. True or false?
Super true.
Super true.
Super true.
So we want to talk about that. We're just I'm putting it all out
there.
Get
it going because there's a lot
all day long.
Hold on, and then met Anderson Cooper this year, which is pretty crazy.
Great Fox.
Great.
Right?
I mean,
wrong?
I have to tell you, all these people that we met at the RNC, like Anderson Cooper, Shepard, Wolflitzer, I loved Mike Huckabee, like Katie Couric. They were all, you see me name dropping. They were all so
Did you hear
nice.
all that?
They were so nice. And like you figure, these people, they rely on what people think of them for a career. I mean, it was the best experience in the world. I would do it again tomorrow.
You guys got to keep talking. I got to get his password on this thing, or else we're not going to be able to get the podcast up. Keep talking. Hold on a second.
So the Gray Fox, I need to know about him. Is he handsome in person?
Handsome, approachable, nice.
And Shepard Smith, same.
Same thing.
I fell in love with Shepard Smith during the, believe it or not, the Columbine.
Oh, yeah.
Sorry.
Because that was kind of his first big thing.
He's the real deal. And, like, in person, when you meet these people, I mean, granted, I only was there for a week, but then being around them for a week, they were all nice, approachable. You want to take a photo? Yeah. I mean, it was awesome.
And you cooked for Mr. Trump's family specifically.
Mr. Trump, President Trump, and his family.
Wow. That must have been some. Do you get nervous when that happens?
No. You
don't get to where you are.
Everyone asks me that, like, are you nervous around these people? No. I mean, if I was dressing them or something, yes. But I'm like, they should be nervous about me feeding them. I mean, like, me being, I've never cooked for them before. I'm sure they were more nervous for me than I was for them. I mean, they're just like us. They have to eat every day.
So sorry, you are at their hotel. You are They come to the queue and they eat at the queue.
They came to the queue and I fed them while they were there the entire time.
So they had like a suite or a room or something at the queue?
So the Trumps had 6 suites. 3 of them were for the immediate family, and then, their VIP guests, like Mike Pence, Omarosa, those people. And then Ivanka had 3 suites, 2 floors up, with her whole entourage and friends and, the siblings.
And they selected what they wanted to eat, and what's Donald's favorite?
Well, and I don't know if I should say this, but they were very meat and potatoes. It was nothing you would have thought. The most extravagant thing they had was jumbo shrimp and mini truffled cheeseburgers. Like, it wasn't anything like off the wall. I mean, I've worked for some people where it's like foie gras and caviar every day. And the Trumps, they were very basic. The one thing that was unique, though, in every suite of President Trump's, I had to have, he won't eat leftovers, and he likes snacks. So I had to have Ruffles and, what are they, the Elf cookies, the Keebler Elf fudge cookies. But if he opened them and ate one out, you couldn't give him the same bag the next day. Like, isn't that weird? Isn't that weird?
Wow.
Well,
that could be a germ thing, though.
No, I wonder if it's a Secret Service thing.
It very...
Because you can almost guarantee that if it's sealed, there's less likely poisoning or anything like that. But once it's open, it's easier. I don't know.
Yeah. If you would have seen the Secret Service around him, though, you expect that with a candidate, but I think Trump just added a whole nother level to it.
Do you think he already had his own people prior to?
He had his own people, and then come RNC, he also had Secret Service. So it was insane. I mean, these guys that were around him, men and women, I would never want to mess with. They were the real deal.
So, there's a whole bunch more on your list, including the fact that your toddler is studying martial arts, which I want to talk about. But you've done all these things, and then at some point you have an opportunity to become the personal chef for the Trump family at the RNC. And so I would like to hear how that comes about, and are you interviewed? Are you vetted? Do they think, man, is there a chance that she might want to poison him?
Right.
You know what I mean? How does that all happen?
And you had, and I'm not going to say any names, but you have been personal chefs for some big names in the movie industry. Yeah. So did that help you?
That helped. And then I have a current client that may own a large athletic team in Cleveland and a very large worldwide known company. So I think that helped. I stock a lot of private jets and do things like that. So I've always had to be vetted in security-wise.
Okay.
So I just they called me and I threw my hat in the ring. I'm like, of course, I'd love to be interested, in working the RNC. And I'm food. I'm all about the job. And I remember getting off the phone, and I called my sister. I'm like, I just got this call for this thing coming to Cleveland called the RNC. And my sister's really into politics. She's like, are you freaking kidding me? Do you even know what RNC is?
So,
it was insane, though, the interviewing process, if that's what you're, asking me about. Yeah. So, at Obama's last inauguration, people posed as health inspectors and contaminated the food.
Oh, is that true?
Yes.
Get out of here.
Super true.
Did they ever catch him?
Yeah, yeah.
Did they arrest him?
It was a big deal.
Really?
But I guess it didn't get out there. That would make Secret Service look so bad. Right. But they caught him.
Well, and it would give people ideas for the next one.
Right.
They probably kept it hush-hush.
So we were doing our interviewing for the RNC, our in-person, our cooking test and all this. And they told us whenever someone comes to Hungry Bee, with a badge or whatever, we have to lock the doors and call in the number just to make sure they're legit.
Wow.
Because we had the Food and Drug Administration coming to Hungry Bee and checking on us every few weeks, temping everything, going through all of our policies and procedures, severe background checks on us. It was very invasive on my husband and I.
Wow.
And all of our employees.
And did you have to get additional staff for...
So every person that worked with us at the RNC was either someone in my immediate family or that I grew up with, someone I knew and trusted.
Interesting.
Crazy.
So I want to go back to when you said that you don't get nervous, right?
Yeah.
About this, because I'm very interested in the whole mental game of success, right? And that fascinates me that you said that. like there's only because. Well, and I'm sure. I mean, so how long have you been? So you graduated. You
2000.
said 2000, right? So 16 years of being a professional culinary person.
Right. And when did you step into that professional where you were either on TV or dealing with some big people? Well, I mean, you had to be nervous at that first.
I paid my dues. I had some really crappy jobs. Like when I decided to move back to Cleveland. I mean, it's not like New York or Chicago or LA. I mean, it's Cleveland, and when I was just coming home, there wasn't like the Michael Simons, the Jonathan Sawyer. Like, there was no big food scene in Cleveland. So, I mean, I took jobs just to pay the bills. It wasn't very fun. And then I remember I was working for Loretta Paganini, and I was like, I can do this. Like, Loretta's a huge mentor for me. So I was like, you know what? I can do this. Why can't I do this? And I was writing the wine list for Moxie and Red in Beechwood, and on my first day at work, I walked in, and I met the chef, and I was like, I'm going to marry this guy. I married him. And, I mean, my husband is so talented when it comes to food.
Awesome.
And
what I would be nervous. So, like, when I go to trial, I always get nervous about forgetting stuff, right? And the dreams that I have, the nightmares that I have that week are always the same. It's me looking for the classroom that I need to get to and then finding it, sitting down, and then realizing that I don't know what is on the test. I don't know anything there, right?
That's a very
common one, right? I wonder... So you must not have that nightmare at all, because if it was me, if I was a chef, the nightmare I would have would be related to like, I mean, not food going bad.
Right. My nightmares, if I'm going to have any, it's going to be like my coolers went down. I walked into work the next day and my coolers went down and all my food went to shit. Like that's stuff that I freak out about.
Or like, what about I don't know, like you probably don't worry about like food, like somebody getting sick, because it would be for freshness reasons, which you can control.
And we source everything from the highest quality places. I mean, you're not seeing Cisco trucks roll up to home.
Well, when did you that first introduction to, I'm going to say, the fame of what you would in your level? I mean, when you're, I keep pointing this, but when you're on TV as I hate even saying the name of that show on the Food Network. Like, what was your first introduction? How did you even get into that arena? I mean, there are chefs here all day that would love to be on a show, let alone cooking for the Trumps, let alone cooking for a superstar.
Right.
You know what? Where was that path?
I don't mean to sound like a downer when I say this, but because we just had the big women's march and all this. I feel like being a woman has always helped me in this industry. I've been able to put myself out there. I'm shaking hands and kissing babies. A lot of chefs, they are the job. They are behind the line cooking the food. I'm fortunate enough to have my husband doing a lot of cooking for the restaurant and Hungry Bee, and then I'm in private residences. I'm at events. I'm doing that networking. So I would think, being a woman has actually helped me because you don't see many women celebrity chefs or things like that, and I think just putting myself and my name out there has been huge, and I've never had to call for anything like that, like they've called, because...
See, I would agree with you when you get past, I mean, I say this as a dude, right, but like for me, I don't really... Women leaders in general, I think, are very, at this point, common, and you expect it, but like superstar leaders are uncommon. Right? It's still among like, the CEOs, the mega successful people. Right. Those are still, in my view, mostly men, right? So when you see someone with the list that I just read off, right? I think that most of America, if they didn't know your gender, would say, "Oh, that's a dude. That's a guy."
And then the ones that do know my gender assume I'm lesbian. I get it constantly.
Is that right?
Yeah, I'm like,
really?
I'm married with a child. Come on.
Yeah, but it all comes down to confidence and badass.
Yeah.
You could get somebody with Kim's talent. This is my opinion. Someone with Kim's talents, without Kim's personality and confidence, and you're not going to get the same result. I mean, Kim is... Yeah, she is, first of all heart. So she knows that what you put out there, it comes back to you in so many different ways. A lot of people don't get that. It's all about me and why aren't you doing that for me? You got to put out there, and then it may not be you coming back and helping me. It may be Kim coming back, but I did it for you. And Kim gets that. She is... with the chamber, she's, all I have to do is pick up a phone and text her, and she's on it. We'll be on it. She's there for us. So she knows how to put the energy out there and the positivity out there, and she results it. But she also knows she's confident in her talents and expresses that.
Kimberly, do you get a full night's sleep? It seems like you would have to not for all the things you accomplish.
I went to sleep last night at 10 minutes to 4 because Harper Grace, my baby bee, has an ear infection, and then my husband went to work at 5. So it was
10 minutes to 4 a.m.?
Yeah.
What?
I mean, today I'm on no sleep. Tomorrow I'm going to sleep in. I'm going to go home tonight. I'm going to have a glass of wine, a little melatonin, and I'm going to go into a sleep coma.
But in general, do you sleep 8 hours a night, or what's your sleep?
I would say now I do, just because we've surrounded ourselves with such awesome people helping us. I mean, at Cultivate, it's like running right now. I've got great people there. Hungry Bee, we've got some awesome people.
And that's so great to hear, because Cultivate is a 1 month old business, and to say that you are able to, and first of all, you're not even in there.
I know. We're still working on a little bit of the kinks, but I mean, it's like, they're doing it.
For a new business, you'd think that she was there 24/7. Again, that goes down to your leadership, and you're molding your staff. When I go in there, they're always having a business meeting. Obviously they're cooking and doing other things, but she's always gathering. It's always positive. Kim's always at the door. How can I help you? Hi, acting like you wouldn't know if someone walked into Hungry Bee. You wouldn't know if Kim knew that person or didn't know that person, because she acts like their neighbor or her sister. I mean, that's you could walk in not knowing Kim, never meeting Kim, and it's, oh my gosh, how are you doing? What are you looking for today? What can I get you today?
Well, and I tell the staff, I tell everybody, anyone can cook, anyone can serve food. And you see how much is going on in Chagrin Falls. There's so many restaurants. I feel that there's enough business for all of us because the community supports us. But I think that the thing that separates Hungry Bee and Cultivate from some other ones is that's what we're doing. We want to know you. We want to know your name. We want to know what your kids like to eat. Serving food is just part of it. Mm-hmm. Being a good business citizen and letting your guests know how much you appreciate their patronage is huge.
And we have a call-in or a text-in or a write-in. My husband would like to mention that the meatballs that he had for dinner last night are to absolutely die for. Absolutely die for. Meatballs. Which he will have again for dinner tonight.
Did he have it at Cultivate?
No, this was a Hungry Bee. And here, Hungry Bee, they're prepared. So since we all know Molly doesn't cook, or maybe we don't know that.
Well,
when you have Chagrin Falls as your kitchen, there's no need for cooking. Let's be honest with each other. And when it's just John and I just don't spend a lot of energy. I spend...
John, I feel terrible.
No, I spend 2 hours a day on Sunday, or 2 hours on Sunday, and I cook lunches for the week. Mm-hmm.
Okay.
And then dinners are a different story for us.
It's harder to cook for one or two than it is for
a
family.
It is. So you go into Hungry Bee, you can either get fresh or frozen. So these meatballs were frozen. And then I just threw them in a pot. I'm telling you.
Interesting.
Mm-hmm. And she's involved in Restaurant Week, so big deals during next week.
Big deals.
Stock up.
And Cultivate and Hungry Bee are located where?
Hungry Bee is catty corner from Dairy Island, right up on East Washington Street. We're a little brick and teal standalone building. And Cultivate is connected to Chagrin Yoga and Snap Fitness.
Gotcha.
And it is jamming.
Mm-hmm. I had a salad there the other day. So it's basically Chipotle, but for salads and bowls. You can pick whatever you want. Everything's fresh. I've heard everyone talks about the avocado toast.
It's good.
Everybody.
Kimberly, what's your favorite book?
My favorite book?
Yeah, that's not culinary.
Where the Red Fern Grows.
Is it really?
I read that book so many times in middle school, and I love that book. Should I have said something a little
No, that's a good book.
50 Shades of Grey.
No. What's the last book you read?
50 Shades of Grey. And you know what? I was finishing up the final book, and I found out I was pregnant with Harper. So
Perfect. Elixir, from you to be semi-proud of me today. I went to a women's event seminar all day today, and the speaker had written a book.
Yeah.
So my sister and I walked over to the thing, and I had it in my hand. I don't read. I had it in my hand, and then my sister's like, I think I'm going to buy it. I said, here, will you do me a favor? Will you read it out loud and take it so that I can get the gist of that?
I'm more of a People magazine kind of a reader.
Yeah, I read People magazine.
I read like Brown Bear, What Did You See every night.
That's a good one. I'm a fan of that one. Yeah.
I see a red bird looking at me.
I read my Facebook posts.
Yeah.
I've been doing a lot of, do you know that series Pinkalicious that little girls like?
We're just getting into Pinkalicious.
Yeah.
I do not know Pinkalicious.
You're not missing much.
Well, and I like reading.
Alex probably likes it. He loves Frozen.
Frozen had
like a lot.
Frozen had a really good soundtrack.
Yeah.
It made me weep.
Maybe that's what I'm going to bring up.
But here,
your obsession with Frozen.
I like having a little girl at home.
How old is she?
3.
Nice.
She's the cutest thing in the world. But I can't stand Pinkalicious, and I can read. I like it when she asks me to read like Elmo, like Sesame Street and like Mickey Mouse stuff.
Yeah.
But it's like she knows I can't stand Pinkalicious. And that's
what is it? What's the?
It's
just
just
this
a
little girl who likes
Oh.
pink, and she doesn't. I mean,
you know what? Start reading her Pippi Longstocking.
I don't like Pinkalicious, and I don't like Pete the Cat.
Yeah.
Have you been reading Pete the Cat?
A little bit.
I
Yeah.
don't like that one.
It's just not as entertaining.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Remember Pippi Longstocking?
Yeah.
That's
you
good
need
stuff
to bring
right
that
there.
back.
Oh, for sure.
She was trouble in a great way.
Can we talk about bees?
Mm-hmm.
All right. So first of all, I remember seeing some documentary talking about how there was a bee famine or something, and how if you study this bee famine, it was going to mark the end of the world. It was like the 7th sign of the apocalypse or something. 100%. Like that. Did you know that, Molly?
Save the bees.
Yeah.
I did not.
Bad things happen to the earth when the bees start dying off.
Without bees.
Yeah. I want to hear about this.
Without bees, we would be eating gruel. We would be eating shit, because the bees pollinate our orchards, our crops, everything. Without bees, you don't have any of that.
Don't other things pollinate stuff?
No, bees.
Bees are the only pollinators?
Honeybees are your good pollinators.
Is that true?
You could go to Hungry Bee and watch the bees working.
Is that true?
Yeah.
Yes.
What? Really?
Yes.
Every now and then I bring in an observation hive with about 60,000 bees
Really?
in it. Yeah.
Wow.
And you can get honey there.
Yeah.
I know that. So that's the deal. So you lose your pollinators.
Pesticides are horrible for the bees.
What is the current state? Is it healthy? Is it unhealthy? Are we in a bad place?
4 years ago, we were in a really, really bad place. And now we're coming back. I mean, this last year was amazing for McCune family apiaries. Over wintertime, you usually lose about 20% of your hives. It's just kind of how it is. And you're lucky if you only lose 20%. And we've been doing so well. I mean, in the wintertime, you wrap your bees. You're really, insulating them, and you leave sugar water in their hive. And come spring, you check them, make sure they're still in there.
Are they like pets? Because you have a queen.
Right, you have a queen.
And is she your...
And then you have 68,000 bees in every hive.
And they all live to serve the queen.
And let me tell you, everybody says...
As it is in the Gebler house.
The Gibsons, too.
Yeah.
And everybody says, how do they stay warm in the winter? And how do the bees know what hive to go into when they're all next to each other? Each hive has its own scent. And each hive is almost 68 degrees year-round, because they're just in a ball circulating in and out and flapping their wings.
Fascinating.
It's quite a science.
And the bees you're talking about are not the stinger bees, right?
Honeybees sting. But honeybees can only sting you one time, and then they die.
Gone.
Like hornets, wasps, they can keep stinging you.
They obviously know what hive to go to, because they look for the scent.
Right.
Do they know they shouldn't sting people because they're going to die?
Bees only sting if they feel threatened. And people are like, oh, yeah, right, I've been stung, blah, 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 blah. I remember being 9 months pregnant, and one of our hives swarmed. It's a crazy video. It's on my Facebook. You have to see.
Oh,
and
yes,
I'm in like a spring dress and flip-flops with my dad, and there's 68,000 bees flying around us. And my dad was holding that queen. They will not, bees swarm because the queen just kind of pieces out from the hive, like a cleansing flight, or she doesn't like the hive anymore. Like, if they feel threatened, they will sting you. But if they're by the queen, they're like calm, cool, collected. That's why you see those pictures of guys like with the bee beards.
Right.
You're like, how did they do that? Because they take the queen and they just tie her to a little string on their chin, and then the bees will come.
Is there a king?
No. There's many kings.
Again, like the Gebler house.
Well, how does the queen
Just kidding,
bee
honey.
become the queen bee? That's my question.
Because when she's a little egg and like a larvae or whatever, they feed her royal jelly. Like you hear royal
Who feeds
jelly.
her royal?
The worker bees and the nurse bees. They feed her royal jelly.
But how do they decide that that's... Is it like the Dalai Lama where
I
like
think
they
they're
knock
just
on
like,
the door?
This is it. This is it. I think they make like 2 or 3
We got a
of them.
queen bee here.
Yeah. They make like 2 or 3 queen bee cells, and then they have them fight it out to the death, and whoever wins, that's the queen.
That is so mind-blowing to me that this... And it brings me back to is it the Dr. Seuss where they live in the
Horton Hears a Who.
Yeah, like,
this
is a whole another life going on.
These are awesome.
I am never going to sway Suzu bee away ever.
Well, that's why, like, isn't the best advice that when you go into a swarm, you're supposed to not, like, flail your arms? You got to be calm. If you're calm, they're not going to sting you because they're going to die.
Because bees smell fear.
Is that true?
I think so. I mean,
so here's the problem: is when you got to be careful where you step.
Right.
That's when I've gotten stung at the pool because I stepped on a bee, but I didn't kill it.
Right.
And then he's like, "What? I'm stinging your foot, and it's going to suck for you."
But like, if you remember, like when we were little, you couldn't run through a field without seeing bees everywhere. Like you don't see that anymore.
Because
you
they're
don't see
dying
that
off?
anymore because the bees aren't like what they used to be. They're dying off, and hopefully in a few years we'll have that again.
So, has your family always been in the apiary business?
No. So.
And why do they call it an apiary?
I have no idea. But when I was about 5, my mom said to my dad, "Hey, Gene, you need to get a hobby with Kimberly." She went golf or tennis, and we came home with 5 beehives.
And now it's an entire financial empire.
Yeah, and it could be totally construed as like child abuse now. But, like, my dad, I mean, I was totally into it. When most girls were doing tap or ballet, I was beekeeping. And my dad, we would go to these houses, and people would be like, "I have a swarm in my wall." And I would be 5 years old in a little bee suit, and I'd have this box with a hose on it. It was like a vacuum. And he would send me up in crawl spaces to suck the bees out of these crawl spaces of these houses.
Those bees. You took those bees home with you.
We would take any swarm we could get our hands on. And then when people would call about hornets' nests or something like that, we would go in the middle of the night, we'd put a trash bag around the nest and throw it in a deep freezer, and Case Western Reserve would come and get it and make anti-venom for it out of it.
Wow.
Crazy, right?
That's crazy.
Do you do anything to get them to mate, like with horses?
Cologne or music, rose?
Yeah,
we use a lot of tweezers. And we put some Barry White on.
But I love the way that you have incorporated the beehive with the selling of the honey and stuff like that in Hungry Bee. I think.
Hold on, that was a serious question about
no, don't do that.
Yeah, so we're dismissing it because we know it's
the queen is like getting it on all day.
Is that true?
Yeah, she's laying like 10,000 eggs a day.
Well, do they?
Yes,
mate?
they do it.
So what you're saying is that all those worker bees are really sex slaves.
Yeah, they are.
Is that right?
And the queen's a whore.
The queen is. Well, she's the queen.
What a
she can't.
life.
Yeah.
Wow.
She's got concubines. She's got male concubines.
So there's male and female bees.
Yeah, nurse bees and worker bees.
So the nurse bees are the
They kind of just take care of the queen and all the eggs.
Sounds like a march.
Yeah, that's crazy. And then, so you have your own apiaries, right, with 75 to 100 hives.
Oh, that's outdated now.
Is it?
Got about
You better update your
We have like
LinkedIn.
200 to 225
Multiplied by
hives.
68,000? Because each beehive has 68,000? That's crazy.
That is crazy.
That's crazy.
We are kind of like the bee enterprise of Cleveland.
I'm feeling a field trip.
I want to go.
Yeah, you should come to the honey house and check it out.
The honey house.
The honey house.
We're totally...
Where's the honey house?
In Auburn, right off the Mun.
We could have done this live from the honey house.
Well, we do the Gertzberg Law Firm has a quarterly play hooky day.
Yeah.
Where I take everybody out for, like drunk Trivial Pursuit.
I was going to say, you don't want to bring that to your
card.
family
No,
affairs.
I do. I think that'll be fun. I think that, maybe that's not the entire thing that we do on Play Hooky Day, but get a tour.
Well, what would be super cool is then you take them to Hungry Bee and they can each get a dinner for their spouse, so that way when they get home they would have dinner.
That would be very thoughtful.
That would be very good for the family side of it.
Employee morale.
Yeah,
yes, that would be.
I like this idea.
Yes, that would be.
So you cited as one of your influences that woman chef whose name I already forgot. What was it?
I don't know.
You said it like 20 minutes ago. What was her name?
Chef.
Oh,
wasn't she a chef?
She said there wasn't any women. Oh, no. Paganini.
Loretta Paganini.
Yeah, Loretta.
Sorry,
Hey, is she the one that got the diabetes?
No, that's Paula Dean.
Paula Dean, that's right. I don't know.
Loretta owns a culinary school in Chester.
Yeah, and
Paula
she's
Dean
always...
No.
Loretta's always on, we used to be on
3,
yes.
right? On Channel 3.
Do you, Kimberly, have any other influences that are like in the business world or just in like leaders, like Gandhi? I don't know.
Yes, I've been very fortunate to have a good group of mentors.
Yeah?
And one of them being Chris Connors from Sherwin-Williams.
Okay.
Beth Mooney from KeyBank.
Yes.
Love her.
Yes.
And Dee Haslam.
Dee Haslam.
From the Browns.
Okay.
Is Deb the wife?
Mrs. Haslam.
Yes.
They've been very instrumental in helping me with business plans and guiding me in the right direction.
All I want to say to our listeners right now is connect the dots.
Connect the dots.
Mm-hmm. We can't say anything else.
Mm-hmm. Okay. I think having mentors is super important.
How do you go about having a mentor? I need to have a mentor.
I think you go up to them and you say,
will you be my mentor?
Or, well, I want to hear what you did.
Do you know what the craziest thing? Chris Connors. Have you met him?
You know what? Can I tell you a funny story about Chris? I've been emailing with him for years over projects that I've done at the Chamber. I've never met him face to face. Very generous and kind man. Mm-hmm. I was dressed as Santa Claus one night during the holiday season, and we were at the Paris Room singing carols, and somebody said, will you do me a favor? Will you go up to this guy at this table and tell him he's been bad and he's not going to get any Christmas gifts? I'm like, you know me. Sure, whatever. So I go up there, and he says his name is Chris. And I said, okay, fine. So I go up to that table. I said, hey, is there a Chris here? And they're like, yeah. And then I said, so Chris who? And he said, Chris Connor. And I was like, oh, my gosh. I said, first of all, you're being bad. You're not getting anything. And secondly, it's Molly from the Chamber. He's like, oh, my gosh. And then we've been trying to get him as a guest speaker. And I said, since I'm a Santa Claus.
He's so nice.
He's so great. I said, will you be my guest speaker this year? And he said, I can't say no to Santa Claus. So.
Do you know how I met Chris?
Tell
People
me.
would think that I've got this great story I've catered for him or whatever. No. I cold called Sherwin-Williams, his secretary, and I said, my name's Kimberly Gibson. I own Hungry Bee in Sugar and Falls. I'm a high-end private chef and caterer. I just want to meet Mr. Connors. Can I come to his house and cook him and his family dinner?
That's awesome.
And do you know, she called me back the next day. She goes, Mr. Connors would love to meet you and would love to have dinner with you. I went to the house. It's right up the street. It's not far. And he wasn't there yet. His wife was there. And she was so nice. And then he walks in a suit, dressed to the nines. And he's like, I'm going to go change. And he comes down, jeans, T-shirt, beer in hand, just approachable good guy. And, ever since then, that was 2 years ago. We meet every quarter and go over my business plan. We have lunch. He's just, he's the real deal. He's the real deal.
And when we're talking about him, he's top 5.
He just retired.
Biggest CEOs
in the world.
Yeah, he's no joke.
And was that because you wanted to cook for him and get his thoughts on your food, or because you wanted to pick his brain for a night?
Well, I wanted to pick his brain about growth because Sherwin-Williams is one of the #1 growing businesses, and I want to grow the smart way. And obviously, I want his business.
Right.
Okay.
That's any big owner or CEO out there, be warned. Molly Gebler is looking for a mentor, and cold calling is coming.
So,
I have my.
Do you know that Chagrin Falls, Ohio, has 70 of the top CEOs in the United States?
Is that right?
Yep.
I have my mentor. I just need to I just need to.
I thought I was your mentor.
That too.
I'm totally
consolidate
right
with
now.
him and say, hey, will you strictly be my mentor? My Jeff.
There was a podcast I listened to a while ago. It might have been Tim. Do you listen to Tim Ferriss at all?
No.
You don't, Molly.
We're people
Tim,
magazine.
there was and they were talking about how one of his guests got a mentor in like Elon Musk or somebody by calling him. It wasn't Elon Musk, but by calling him and saying, hey, the next time he was in Chicago. Next time you come to Chicago, don't call a cab and don't call a limousine service. I'm going to drive you around all day long, wherever you need to go. And he did for those like 15 minutes of being alone in the car with this dude, right? Cool. And just asking him questions. And he did. And he mentored him, and now he's got a successful business, supposedly.
There you go.
Crazy.
You gotta have balls, you gotta put it out there.
That's important. Gotta have balls.
We can use the word balls, but
it's not on our list.
I get that, but it's confidence. It's confidence, and it's being confident in what you're selling.
Right.
So,
and she has it.
So, is that something, Kimberly, that you like just picked up totally organically on your own?
My father was in politics for years
while
I was growing up.
What was his name?
Gene McCune.
Is he still around?
Yep.
Okay,
He's the B-man. He's the B-man now.
Yeah.
Okay.
And what politics?
He was just in local politics, and he was, trustee, ran for commissioner. But my parents put me in Toastmasters at a young age. Like they really instilled the importance of being able to hold a conversation and hang out and chat.
And she does. And we did a video of her a couple different times, and she's spot on. I'm going to try Black Magic.
It's got chia seeds.
It's got charcoal in it, and that
Are these like for sale?
Yeah.
All right.
Cultivate.
So
we have green ones.
Get Citrus Elixir because this is the bomb hit.
I like this. I like Escapade as well. You should have.
Well, we can pass it all around. I don't have cooties. Well, should I mix this up?
Give it a good shake.
I'm going to check out Escapade.
Active charcoal is very good for you.
Like charcoal, like from a fire?
Yeah.
Isn't that?
I do it on my face all the time.
Are you doing those black charcoal masks? I just started doing those too.
Yeah.
I saw it on Facebook. And
yeah.
I'm like addicted.
Yeah, man. Bottoms up. I am trying Black Magic.
There's some chia seeds in there. It's like a tart lemonade.
I'm trying it.
It's an acquired taste.
I just
have to like chia seeds though. See, it's loaded with chia seeds.
Oh, look at that! It looks crazy. Black Magic.
What side did you sip off of, Alice? I'm not quite sure you don't have cooties.
I might have. I've got all kinds of cooties. Escapade is delicious.
Yes.
And I can't stand grapefruit, and I loved it.
I can't stand grapefruit either, but this has got a lot of grapefruit in it too. Pass that
Black
one down.
Magic is really
don't be so.
These go like crazy at Cultivate. It blows my mind.
My goodness.
I love this.
Blows my mind.
I love this.
I wish I could eat your awesome-looking cookies.
Yeah.
But I heard that if I screw up the dairy thing, I got to start over.
Yeah, you don't want to do that. Resist.
Oh, Lord.
Oh, this is my favorite.
Yeah, that's good stuff.
But you should come and get an avocado toast at lunch from Cultivate. You would like that.
But you can't have the toast.
Why not?
Right? Aren't you?
It's sprouted bread.
Oh, it's no dairy in it?
I'm going to get down on that.
Well, I'm going to have, this is really my second cookie. I don't want to finish that one only because it's very hard, and with my microphone, I don't want people hearing me chew. So
well, this is
really
a lemon. That's an apricot cashew. Just saying.
So, and you make craft beers.
Yeah.
Which is interesting.
So, I was fortunate that I became the first woman emerging chef. And with that, I got to host my very own dinner. And a lot of the chefs before me, they were very trendy, urban, like downtown. They're so cool. And I was like, if I'm going to have this dinner, it's going to be done my way, on my terms. So I called it Rehival, a return to the earth dinner. It was on a Longhorn steer ranch. I slaughtered the steer for dinner the day before.
What? You slaughtered?
Yeah, I'm a badass.
Get out of here. What'd you use?
What do you mean, what did I use?
Like a chainsaw? Or I don't know. What do you do?
You shoot it in the head with a bolt gun.
Is that true?
Yeah, you shoot it in the head with a bolt gun, and then you butcher it.
Wow, you did that yourself?
Well, I had some help.
That is bad.
I'm not going to take all the credit. So I had this huge dinner at this Longhorn Steer Ranch, and I said, you know what? I should have a product to go with this, because, I'm a girl. I'm always thinking about something cool I can do. So I said, I'm going to brew a beer. And I was in the shower washing my hair. I was like, Rehived Ale. And I, went through all the state paperwork. I served it for the dinner, and people were like, you should sell this. I was like, hell yeah, I should. So I bottled it, I branded it, I got all the state certifications. Heinen's picked it up, Whole Foods, Trader Joe's, Giant Eagle. And then after like 2 years, I was like, you know what? I was 9 months pregnant, like repping this beer in like grocery stores. I'm like, this isn't for me anymore. Like, beer is cool, but like people go to school for this. It's a science. So I sold it. But it was great. It was fun.
Sell?
Yeah. It was fun while it lasted.
Who did you sell it to?
Superior Beverage. I mean, nothing crazy, but it was, I didn't lose money, so that was the good thing.
Did you know a lot about, like, brewing before that?
No.
Just
so I worked with Jerome that owned Black Box Brewing, and he had all the Crooked River beers, and he was an awesome mentor, and we used 60 pounds of McCune family apiary honey in every batch, and, like, it's all time, temperature, and, I mean, it's a real science.
I can't get behind the, like, craft beers.
It's, you know what?
It's hard to...
I got out at the right time.
Yeah.
It is such a saturated market.
Yeah, it
is. You see all these breweries opening up in Cleveland this next year, and I'm like, how are they all going to make it? I mean, I hope they do, but, I mean, it's such a saturated market right now.
Yeah. It seems like, I like, the labels are really funny, but I'm saying, like, I don't have the palate for it, I don't think. Like, I don't know. Yeah. Do you like the dark ale, the dark stuff?
I'll be honest, I was never a beer fan.
Okay.
Yet
you manufactured your own beer.
And I still don't drink beer.
Huh. Interesting.
Fireball's my new jam.
Fireball?
I could, a whole bottle.
Whole bottle. Likes Fireball. I just
shoot it all night long.
Kimberly, do you fail at stuff?
Yeah.
Like what?
I'm really bad at laundry.
She's almost got a little bit of Midas touch in her.
I mean, it looks that way.
I have last night's dinner dishes in my sink still.
So give me something that I mean, everything you have attempted here, and first of all, kudos for just attempting it, but it seems as if everything you've attempted has turned to gold. What have you attempted that has not worked out and you had to move on and say, okay, this isn't working out? You could say nothing.
No, I am. Okay. I was in the middle of doing a, oh my God, it's even embarrassing to say it.
Love it.
I was doing like a granola bar type thing, like a fertility, like for women. Like instead of saying like taking prenatal vitamins and things like that, I was going to make a bar specific for women in their childbearing years and like, or they were pregnant.
Did you like crack the code or something?
Well, it was so hard. I mean, you figure like FDA regulations are so crazy as it is when you're doing a product. I mean, what I had to go through with a beer was insane. But like when you're talking about pregnancy and shit like that, like I was like, this is too much. This is too much. I just can't.
Because there was a lot more regulations.
Yeah. And then the other one was I patented a gloss, a lip gloss, believe it or not. This is one of the first things I did. It was a low sheen, high matte gloss that didn't come off on the rim of a glass. I called it Wine Snob so that your lips wouldn't get stained red from drinking wine.
I love
and like
name.
I went to Bonnie Bell and they were helping me like formulate it and all this. And then someone came out with these wine wipes and I was like, forget it.
Oh, I think that's still a good idea.
I love the name.
Because who carries around wine wipes?
Right.
I know.
I love it. And since you are the queen bee of the Gibson household, any other baby bees? You have one baby bee.
I have one baby bee, Harper Grace. Maybe in the
Who's adorable.
Maybe in the future.
Okay.
I'm slamming wine, so you know it's not right now.
68,000 of them.
68,000
baby bees.
I would have 10 kids.
Okay.
You know.
You got one right now?
I have one.
And he's a martial artist.
Harper
even
Grace.
more badass, right? Even more badass.
Yeah. It's so bad because like people come in the shop and they're like, "Oh my God, what's your name?" And she says, "Bee," because everyone around town calls her Baby Bee from Hungry Bee, and I'm like, "No, your name's Harper Grace."
That's funny.
She's a good girl.
Well, what about a B&B? You want to partner with that and do a B&B and you do the food in it?
Where's that coming from?
Because I think that we need a B&B in this area. It's the number one phone call we get at the chamber office.
Well, I've been talking to Red Maple Inn. I do a lot at Red Maple Inn.
Well, we need to buy the, right on 306 where Snyder, with Savage, right on the corner there, there's a...
That property?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I have a business idea that I need a culinary person to take off with.
Okay.
So if you want this, then we will cut this out of the podcast. But if you don't want it...
Lay it on me. I'm ready.
If you don't want it, then I'm going to put it out there to the listeners. But you get a first crack at it, Kimberly. All right, here's the deal.
Jimmy Gibson's going to flip out.
Dude, listen. This thing has...
You just rode right on my B&B. Just rode right on it.
I did.
Bullshit.
Isn't Gamekeepers a B&B? Don't they have a little
They have
B&B?
9 rooms. That's it.
Oh.
Or 13 rooms.
After,
every day we get a call for that.
After you do the B&B and make Molly $1 million, okay?
Yeah.
We do it together.
What? That's fine. No, I don't mean to poo-poo your B&B idea,
Obviously.
but this idea
like
is
that?
a $1 billion idea.
I'm ready.
Okay. So you know how you can't take your kids to nice restaurants because they can't sit still and they're loud and obnoxious and you got to put video games in front of them just to shut them up so they'll sit still.
Yeah.
All right. So that's why you can only take them to TGI Fridays or something.
Right, Cowboy.
Right, well, no one cares, exactly. So
That's
I
a
think,
go-to.
me
Cowboy.
too. Yeah, well, they got the video games back there, and it's loud.
And you show your chamber card and get 15% off your food. I
Oh.
hope.
Yeah. So here, what if you had a restaurant, right, that served just the best gourmet food anywhere, right, and you could take your kids there, but in the middle was this sealed play area. Where you send your kids into. Listen, don't
the balls, at McDonald's when they have the thing in the middle and they can go.
But it's classy. No, but it's classy, and there's babysitters in there, right? And it's totally sealed off, so your parents can sit on the outside and enjoy a nice meal.
Okay.
Do you see the babysitters in Hooter outfits?
Yeah. What is
I think it's negotiable, Molly. I think it's open.
That's
I'm saying this would be a high-end joint, right?
Oh
and you
my
could,
God.
How could be a high-end if you have
insurance
kids?
alone you would have to carry?
How could
First
it be
of all-
high-end
I know,
if you
you're
have
an
kids
attorney.
I know,
in
but
the
look,
bubble?
they've got trampoline
Puking and
places
peeing
now.
and I'm going to have an $80 steak?
Oh.
Watching.
It would be a real. I mean, look, this would be like a high-end place. This wouldn't be like the Giant Eagle where you put your kids in the thing.
It's not about the place; it's about the kid. You can't make a kid high-end.
Yeah, you can. You put really nice toys in there, and you put really well-trained professional babysitters in there, and they will stay busy
I'm
all
feeling
night.
confident that this is going to be able to stay in.
Because I could just picture myself slicing into my Chilean sea bass and my kids slamming on the glass.
Yeah.
Give me
Licking.
But you can't hear them.
Boogers.
You can't hear them. And there's a button, and then there's
a
blinds.
shade would come out.
Sorry, we're gonna be over here enjoying our meal.
Goodbye.
Dude,
Here's the deal.
this idea is gonna make someone a billionaire. I'm telling
and
you.
enjoy a night
That's
out.
right.
Come on.
But you want to take
and
your
you know
kids
I
out with
babysit
you
every
sometimes.
time. For you. I love
from
my baby
around
girl.
here from the time, do you remember Timber Fire?
No.
Yes.
That was my first job.
Was
cooking
it?
in high school. Well, I worked at the Auburn Ice Rink too. I was a skate guard. But I was working at Timber Fire making salads.
Burned down.
That was a restaurant.
Is that your property? No.
No, that's where the dentist is now.
Right.
But if I could open a Timber Fire right now, for any of you investors out there,
Yes.
I would buy the Sears building.
Mm.
And I would make a huge family-friendly restaurant.
What?
We're talking pizzas, pastas, burgers,
What's
awesome bar,
stopping you?
patio.
Because that's what are they
What's
doing with that
stopping me?
building?
They want like $20 a square foot for 20,000 square feet. And then Jimmy
that's
Gibson would probably just lose it if I took anything else on. Like, Jimmy, we're a good
He's
match
your yin,
because
your yang.
I'm like the helium in the balloon and he's the string that pulls that down to reality.
You gotta have that. You gotta have somebody there pressing the cockamamie button.
Someday, though.
I think the three of us should not partner in anything because we all are the helium.
Yeah.
And if we do, we need
I
a
agree with
fourth
you.
person to pull us down because we would be planning a restaurant on Mars.
That's why the essay contest now has an advisory board, right? Do you know about the essay contest,
No.
Kimberly?
What's the essay
my
contest?
God!
Oh,
You totally
Kimberly.
Is this the one where the senior in high school
Sponsor right there.
What are you talking about? Fill me in.
We need sponsors and we need
Essay
judges.
contest.
What is the essay about?
We solve problems essay contest. We are going to 4 different schools. This is our second year.
Okay.
Last year, the topic that we asked them to solve was cyberbullying. We had 800 essays be submitted. We read them all. Well, judges,
Who
100
can submit
of them.
these?
High school students
or?
from Kenston and Chagrin, all
Last
freshmen
year
through,
yeah.
freshman through senior. This year we doubled. We are Kenston, Newberry, Chagrin, and Orange.
Right.
The problem they have to solve through writing is texting and driving. And last year we had Jeff Hoffman from Priceline.com and Len Komrowski from the Cavs were our 2
final
major...
Len. I have been trying to get a hold of this guy forever, so maybe you can hold that up.
Okay, he's my neighbor.
He's your neighbor?
Yeah.
You live up in... All right. So you live by John Eprick. Great Lakes Cheese.
I do?
Yeah, he lives in there too.
No, he doesn't.
Yeah, he does. Yeah.
We can say
we'll
what
connect about that later.
Yeah, because I've been trying to get him as a speaker too.
He's my good bud. I'll help you out with that.
But yeah, so I will reach out because the advisory board all has to get one sponsor in Kimberly's mind. So don't touch
you're
her.
claiming Hungry as your...
Don't touch her. We all have to go
Yeah.
out and get a sponsor.
No, but this is a worthwhile cause. Your former high school, Kenston High School,
we lost last year
They
to
did.
Chagrin Falls.
They did.
But all the money raised goes directly to the students. We gave out $10,000 in money last year.
Wow, that's amazing.
And this year we hope to do better.
Yeah.
And it's so great because as Alex was the father of this essay contest and then came to the chamber to partner with him, but as he says, you want to solve the problem through words and be able to convince us, the readers, that your idea is worthy through words.
That's awesome.
I love that.
and you get to bring the entire local business community together to mentor students, right? Mm-hmm. And so if you go to the website, right, which is gertzburglaw.com/essay, there's already 100 judges on there, and they're already advising the students on tips on how to write well, and these are the students that are going to be looking for jobs from the Hungry Bee one day, right? Mm-hmm. And so putting business owners in touch with students now, right?
I'm all about that.
That's why
it's a cool thing. It's a cool thing. Yeah.
So
it went. I mean, last year went really well.
It went great.
Surprisingly well for as big as it got. And this year, we doubled it. And there's 3,000 eligible students this year.
Wow.
We need judges, so call your
all
partners.
All done by email. So it's pajama and by the fireplace type of reading.
Yeah.
I always like to say that because it's time consuming, but yet the time is spent at your home.
Right. It's good stuff.
I will be reaching out to Kimberly with all the information.
That would be fantastic.
So mitts off.
Wonderful.
All right, lightning round, Kimberly.
Yes.
Lightning round questions. You ready? You ready for wait, did we get our embarrassing story yet?
Really quickly, could you just tell us about the Cooler Project?
Oh, Blue Cooler Project.
Really quickly.
I love this idea.
Okay.
Yes.
I love it. The first week of December, my mom, Karen McCune, and I said we wanted to do something for December. So every night on the front step of Hungry Bee, we put a blue cooler out filled with food for those in need. And every night, first I was like, I hope it's not some D-bags just taking my food.
Yeah.
Whatever.
Right.
But we have people leave cards in there. We had people leave scarves and hats and mittens and whatever.
And you contacted churches.
School, guidance counselors at schools that could advise the proper people. And every night it's empty. And I said, you know what? This is something that has to go on past December. So we're doing it year round.
That's awesome.
We're excited about it.
I will tell you this, right? Every business owner within the sound of my voice really needs to take a cue from that. I had the thought, I've got 15 people here, right? And sent an email around. Let's do a food drive, right? You did the same thing, right? The point is, you've got visibility and you've got an audience who is listening to you. You probably put that out on your Facebook page.
Oh, yes.
Blew up on social media.
Exactly.
It was shared 600 times. It was insane.
I honestly, if you're a business owner who's not doing something like that, it's so easy. It's so easy. You just have to be a little creative.
Social media is huge.
Yeah.
It's huge.
Yeah.
I mean, you just have to do it. That's the bottom line.
Well, yeah, and
stop talking about it and do it.
That's right. No, I love. I read that.
And if it fails and
idea.
you have 10 cans of food and you planned on 4 truckloads, you have 10 cans of food that you're giving to somebody. So.
And with that, I should say, the Bainbridge Food Pantry is so wonderful, and it's not stocked like it should be. I mean, they could use everything from canned goods to cereal to paper products, detergent.
And these are what's great about these pantries is it's not just people in Bainbridge. Yeah. What happens with these people who cannot afford food and such, they go to other communities because they're too embarrassed to go to their own. Right. So these Bainbridge Food Bank and I know the Schrin Falls Park,
it services
they're servicing Cleveland and all around because these people are coming in because they don't want to go to their own neighborhoods because they don't want people to know that they're suffering.
Well, Bainbridge, I mean, east of Chagrin Falls some parts of it are pretty affluent, but there's actually a lot of pretty rural, underprivileged areas there.
Well, and I tell people, believe it or not, there are people hungry in our community, and that to me is unacceptable.
Right, right.
Any child not being able to eat is unacceptable.
Yeah.
An adult can fend.
My
but
goal,
a child can't.
Yeah, my goal for this year is I would like to set something up on the holidays. I don't want to call it like a soup kitchen, but like a really nice meal on the holidays where high school students would help me run it. They would help me grow it, like almost be like a community outreach thing at the school to help.
Which also then teaches the kids to.
So I'm going to say Thanksgiving will be my first. I'm going to do it.
And I would say the chamber would love to be part of that.
Yes.
I'm sure the Gersberg Law Firm would be sure.
I'm all over it, for sure. All right, Kimberly.
Yes.
Embarrassing. This is a new addition to the lightning round.
Okay.
But I say we make it first.
Your Leprosi story.
The Leprosi story. An embarrassing story that few, if any, people know about.
Well, no one in Ohio knows about it.
Oh, even better. That's good.
My senior year of college in New York, I always had a really bad habit when my chef would call me. I mean, at CIA, we were dressed in the nines. Like, you had your toque, your chef coat was pressed, your apron, your pants, your clogs. Like, you had to look the part. Like, they were not teaching short order line cooks there. They were teaching chefs, like leaders in the culinary industry.
Yeah.
So it was all about being proper and put
classy.
Together. I always had a bad habit of taking my knife and wiping it on my apron before I'd set it on my board. And then one day, my chef said, "Miss McCune, I think you're having a problem there." And I was like, "What?" And I turned around and you saw clog prints and blood. I had my serrated knife and I sliced myself all the way down my inner thigh, down to my knee. But my knife was so sharp I didn't feel it.
What?
Did he think you were having another kind of problem?
Yeah.
That's where I thought the story was going.
So
oh my gosh.
I flip out. I drop my pants. I really
oh my goodness.
cut some meat off myself. I saw it. I passed out backwards and slammed my head on the chalkboard, and I had 18 stitches in the leg and 19 in the back of my head.
That's insane. That is a good story.
Gosh.
That's my embarrassing story.
That's a good story.
I love it.
I don't ever wipe my aprons with my knives anymore.
Mm-hmm.
Why is it?
Lesson learned.
And that's why that's a bad habit. Because you might slice your thigh open.
Yeah.
And not even know it.
But keep your knife sharp. If they're super sharp, you won't feel it if you get cut. If they're dull, it's going to hurt really bad.
One of our, today at Kicking It with Kenny, the chefs that were on left their knife and then they called the restaurant and said, would I drop it off? So here I am walking into a restaurant. He had it in a very interesting...
Was this Matt?
Yes. Yes. He had it in like a very interesting, like a hunter's...
Like a shield?
Like a leather, like a leather hunt, somebody would have on. So here I am walking into a restaurant with a knife.
Like a machete.
Yeah. Oh, that was scary. Man,
he's a good dude.
He's a great guy. Great guy.
What's your embarrassing story, Molly, that nobody knows about?
Oh, I'm just gonna stick with the leprosy.
No, that's weak. Come on.
I'd have to think. I don't know. I'd have to think.
I think you know one right now.
I honestly don't. I don't even know what I did this weekend. How do I remember an embarrassing? You go and I'll think.
When I was a sophomore in high school, I went to Brush. Mm-hmm. I went out on a date with a senior, and I thought I was hot shit. I thought I was like the coolest kid in the whole school, right? Yeah. And I took to my friend Bobby Atchison's house, right?
This is the second time you mentioned Bobby Atchison.
Is it? Was it for this story? Because I just told this story to somebody the other day.
Oh, maybe it was.
Yeah, when we started wrestling. So we thought it would be a funny thing to just start wrestling. And so we started wrestling around, and he gave me a wedgie. She's
here.
She's standing right there, mortified. And he pulled the underwear band off of my underwear while I was wearing it, and like unfurled me like a flag, right, in front of her, and she was just standing there with her jaw on the ground, and I completely like the kids listening at home can't see me. What is this motion called? Unfurling? Unwinding. He unwound me by my underwear band. And the very next thing that happened was she said, "You should take me home." And I did. I was a sophomore. So this was immature by even sophomore and high school standards.
Yes. Wow.
Yeah, that was that.
Yeah, that didn't even bring up anything for me. I'm sorry.
I'm
going to refer to my family and my kids, and I will come back with something. I'm a very cautious person. I really am. So I don't put myself.
All right, so here.
I'm sure I've done stupid things. I just need to.
If you're.
Because I don't read, I can't remember anything.
If this is the position you're taking, Molly, I'm going to ask everyone who knows Molly Gebler to post onto the Facebook page an embarrassing story about Molly. The more embarrassing, the better. And the winner.
Here's the deal. Yeah. I will post that on my own Facebook page.
Okay.
And I will ask anybody to share an embarrassing story about me so that I can have some.
Interesting.
Maybe they should send it privately so that each time.
No.
But I want to have. If you're going to ask this question every time, I need to have a different story every time.
Oh no! This was the first one, so we got it out of the way. I'm not going to keep telling embarrassing stories
for us. Okay, all right.
Yeah.
I will get. Yes,
I'm done at this point.
Here's the deal. I am all for making an ass of myself.
No embarrassing stories.
Oh, I'm going to find one. I'm going to find one.
We are going to.
There's going to be plenty. I'm going to share them on my Facebook page. I'm sure there is. I just,
That's cool, man.
I'm gonna have to.
We're about to find out, Molly. So it's about to get really real.
I'm posting it right now. Yeah. Share your embarrassing stories.
I thought I was in labor and I walked into Hillcrest screaming bloody murder, and then they said, "No, honey, you just peed your pants."
Oh my god!
Oh, that's outstanding.
Oh.
All right. You want the other lightning round questions, and then we got to skedaddle because I got to go. All right. Biggest success. And don't say your kid.
Yes.
I was just going to say that.
I know you were.
We know that.
Yeah, that's a standby.
Biggest success, being able to give back that college scholarship.
Oh, I love it.
So cool.
That is cool.
So cool.
That reminds me of that scene in Cinderella Man when he gives back the welfare money.
Right?
That was a great
That's
scene.
a great movie. I have it on DVD if you want to borrow it. That's a great
You want to hear a funny story about that movie?
Just
real quick. So my middle kid, Jacob, when he was in utero, my wife and I were watching that movie. Oh, I shouldn't spoil it, but there's a scene in the movie when, as you can expect, it's a boxing movie, right? He knocks a dude out, and the crowd goes bananas, right? Everyone goes crazy, and Jacob, my wife had the remote control on her belly. And Jacob, right when he knocks him out and the crowd goes wild, Jacob punches north and knocks the remote control off of my wife's belly.
Oh, my gosh.
I watched it happen. It was crazy. It was like he sensed the energy from that scene when, what's his name, Russell Crowe knocked that dude out.
That's a great movie.
So what was your biggest success?
Giving back that scholarship.
That's right. All right, biggest failure.
So cool.
Coming on this podcast.
Alex's idea for
biggest failure.
Dude, that would be your biggest success if you did it, I'm telling you.
Yeah. I don't know what my biggest failure is. If I don't think I can't do something well, I don't do it. I don't know.
Let me rephrase the question.
Yeah.
What was your biggest learning experience?
Reality TV.
Okay. Because it was...
I don't think I would.
Humbling?
Well, no, because I realized that reality TV, though it is reality TV, is not reality.
Right.
However, I will be on another reality cooking competition show in
You
May.
are? Oh my gosh!
You should still check your contract. I'm just saying, as a lawyer.
I can say that. I think.
All right, that's fair.
Okay.
I just can't say if I crush it or not.
Hey,
it's already happened? It's already happened?
It's happening.
Interesting. Molly just lost her shit. All right. Limiting beliefs. Do you have any?
What?
Do you have any limiting beliefs, like internal negative talk, ever?
Yeah.
You do? And then what is it and how do you deal with it?
I think my big thing is I don't want to have, I call it Martha Stewart syndrome, and it's kind of.
You don't want to go to jail for tax evasion?
Yeah, that, and I don't want my kid hating me when they get older. Do you know what I mean? Like,
interesting.
Mom worked and ran like a maniac.
Yeah.
That's
for
my
sure.
big thing, like kind of balancing work, family life.
So you just feel guilty about it.
I feel guilty.
Basically. I do
and
too.
I feel guilty.
I totally do.
I like to say I'm a recovering Catholic.
Yeah.
Like Molly Priest. What is it?
Gebler.
Molly Francis Priest Gebler. The most Catholic name I've ever heard in my life.
Are you related to Rachel?
That's my niece.
Is she your niece by marriage? Rachel Conti?
Yeah, she's John's brother, son, Scott's wife, yeah.
She was my best friend growing up.
She what?
Yeah, Rachel.
Because they went to Chagrin.
No, we went to St. Joan of Arc.
Oh.
And then she went to Chagrin and I went to Kenston.
Oh, how funny.
She's my girl.
Oh my gosh, that's so funny.
I always want to ask you that when I see your last name. I'm like, I wonder if
I am Aunt Molly to her. That's so crazy.
Do you want to talk about why she's no longer your best friend? Did anything bad happen?
No, nothing at all.
Girl.
We just went to other schools.
Yeah.
We're still friends.
Yeah.
That wasn't an interesting story at all.
Yeah, no, sorry.
Nothing embarrassing there.
Okay, so that, and then how do you deal with that? Limiting belief. But that's not really a limiting, well, it's just a guilt.
I don't know. How do I deal with it?
Yeah, like what do you do about it?
I spoil the hell out of her. I mean,
she's going to hate you for that.
Let's go to Cafe Au Play, and we'll spend the whole day there.
Yeah.
Let's go pick out a toy. And I know it's bad, so I'm trying.
No, it's cool.
I'm trying to figure that out right now.
I do the exact same thing, and I think that's totally acceptable.
I just don't want to have one of those bratty kids.
Right.
I don't want to have a bratty kid.
Yeah.
No, you work hard. You get things because you work hard.
I have been extremely blessed in the children.
You were blessed, for sure.
And I don't know what
you should find out who their real mother is.
Well, if there is a real mother out there, they're paying for the college loan. I'll tell you that right now. Okay,
and then finally, Kimberly.
Yes.
Important. Let me see if I can articulate Molly's question as well as Molly could. Okay.
Oh, I know the answer.
Important female, or actually, it's important maternal influence or other female influence in your life. Is it, maybe it's Miss Paganini?
No.
Okay.
No, it's
Who
not.
is it?
I know who it is.
It's my mother.
Absolutely.
It's my mother. Because most people don't know this. My mother is visually impaired. And my mom is one of those people that would work till the day she died if she could. She's a worker. And
she's a worker bee.
She worked at Kenston schools for years and years, and then her vision got so bad that she had to retire. But she's with me at Hungry Bee every day.
Wow.
And my mom will stand there and peel potatoes or wash it. She'll do anything. She is Queen Bee. My mom is the bomb. She's the shit. And she has accomplished more things in her life than most people with vision.
Really?
Yeah. I mean, she's been a huge, just seeing her. I mean, most people would have just been depressed and stayed in bed, and she figured it out. Doing laundry when we were little kids, she was putting puffy paint dots on our toes so she knew if it was my socks or my sister's. She figured it out, and she's
so
awesome. I mean, she's awesome.
And can I say something also about Kimberly? I know I brag a lot about her, but so through her success, she gave back to the Rotary. She also bought her father a car. A convertible BMW, if I'm not mistaken.
Not a convertible.
No, but BMW, same thing. And a mink, I believe, or a fur for her mother. Right? Am I right? I'm a stalker here. Yeah.
So and it could look kind of could look kind of shitty.
Are you kidding me?
It's one of those things you think about. My parents paid for college.
Absolutely.
They paid for all my bullshit growing up.
Awesome.
And my dad, he's I'm not taking this car. I'm not taking this car. So I showed up. I went and picked up this red BMW. And I walked up to him, and I handed him 2 tickets to the World Series. And he, got all emotional. I go, and here you go. And I threw him cards. It was, the best day of my life. Being able to, pay your parents back.
Yeah. That's amazing.
That's so cool.
Yeah.
And to do it.
And,
there are people in this world who could pay it back, but don't do that.
But, like, not many people know, like, just how bad I was growing up, except for Mayor Coons. He was my principal.
Oh, we're going to get him in.
There's another podcast. I got to go. I got a meeting I got to go to. But, wait, I want to hear about all the bad things you did as a kid. Stay tuned. Yes. That's going to be continued.
Oh, absolutely. And we could have Mayor Coons here.
Mayor Coons.
Wouldn't that be something? Like a reunion of sorts?
He's the man.
Yeah.
I didn't really care for him when I was in high school, but now it's like, he's the man.
He's the best.
I had a great conversation with him at the holiday party.
He's awesome.
Yeah, he's a good dude. He's good peeps.
He's awesome.
All right. What are you working on right now that you want to tell the world about? Because there's a million kids listening at home to this podcast. We are the best podcast ever. Yeah, so.
That's what it is.
Yeah.
So, what am I working on right now?
Yeah, that you want people to know about.
Well, the most important thing, I think, it doesn't matter what you do, how much money you make, whatever. My philanthropy is the biggest thing of importance to me, and I hope in 2017 here I'm able to just rock it out locally with a lot of local charity work. So that's kind of what I'm working on right now.
Excellent.
Give it back.
Cultivate. I mean, Cultivate's 1 month.
Cultivate,
so visit Cultivate and visit
Bee.
Hungry Bee during Restaurant Week. Starts next week. They're both participating in Restaurant Week.
Is there a Restaurant Week special?
It's like family-friendly pricing all week at Hungry Bee, which is $7.95. We'll be having chicken paprikash, beef stroganoff, Tuscan chili. You get a fry pie with every order with $7.95.
And I'm telling you,
going tomorrow.
The Gabblers will be. It's not starting tomorrow. The Gabblers will be stocking up.
Good deal.
When is Restaurant Week again?
Starts Monday, week from today.
I'm going tomorrow and on Monday. How about that?
I love it. I'm going every day to Hungry Bee so I can stock up. Can you freeze your fresh stuff?
Yeah, you can freeze it.
It's
only fresh daily, so you can freeze it.
And my new refrigerator comes Saturday.
Hungry Bee is that it's on Washington and 306?
No, it's like 1,000 feet before 306.
Okay.
Across from Zeppi's.
If you pass it during Christmas, you would see all my beautiful Christmas or Thanksgiving decorations.
Okay, I got it.
Mm-hmm. Right now it has a Restaurant Week sign in the front.
I know exactly where it is. I'm going. Which one do you hang out at Cultivate more or
I'm in
Hungry
private residences the most.
Oh, is that right? Okay.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
I'm headed there right now, actually.
Maybe we should just hire her. So you're going to go there and cook their dinner?
I totally have to go.
I'm going to Hunting Valley from here.
To cook their dinner?
Every day.
Every day?
Every day for 8 years.
Would this be the one person that we talked about?
One of them? No.
No. This is somebody totally.
This is my salaried job.
What? Is that true?
Yeah.
So when you say every day for 8 years, you mean for the last 8 years you've been cooking dinner?
I've been going to this lady lunch and dinner.
Is
and
that
you cook
right?
it there?
I cook it there.
Get out of here.
It's a whole other world there.
Yes, it is. Wow.
You may know her.
I may?
Yep.
I can't wait to turn this podcast off so I can hear it. Hey, wait. On a side note, because I'm going to forget later, we should auction off a dinner from you for our essay contest. Think about it. Think about it.
Whatever you guys want.
We would raise some. All right, hey, I'm keeping that in the podcast. If you want to think about it?
No.
Oh my God, this is the best idea ever.
How many will you do?
Why don't we do an in-home dinner for 6, 7-course meal?
What?
This is the greatest thing in the world.
All you have to do is ask.
We just did.
Well, so hold on. So is this going to be...
Just don't be one of those people that calls and goes, can you make a donation? But what exactly does Hungry Bee do?
No, well,
I know what Hungry Bee does.
So this would be like a reverse raffle kind of situation, right? Or not a reverse raffle, but like a silent auction where the highest bidder gets Kimberly to cook a dinner for up to 6 people in your house.
That's crazy.
Are you sure you don't want to think about this?
No, I'm all right.
You had a few glasses of wine.
These are the ones I donate. I donate them.
Oh, dude, this is a huge... That's a big deal.
That's a huge deal.
High five.
That's a huge deal.
Lobster? We got lobster.
With that...
did you hear that? Lobster, too. You could get...
I might just bid.
You could bid on it and then take care of the dinner the big dinner you owe me.
I
know
know
that you've paid the little dinners, but the big dinner you owe me...
Shut up. I know, I might just bid myself. I know that we are the founders. No, I didn't. I stopped myself before saying
I would never
My mother would make us say, please be silent.
I would never talk to you like that.
I said shut
up. Not on a podcast.
Well, you are now my co-host.
Oh, my God. I stopped myself before saying it. I just said shut
Nellie, you can verify whether or not it was said.
No, but this was a great note to end on. Thank you.
That's a great note.
Kimberly.
Thank you, Kim.
Thank you for having me here.
Everything
this was
you
a great
do here
one.
for the community.
Yeah. Thanks, guys.
It is
awesome.
It is noted and appreciated.
I love my community.
We love you.
Molly, anything more for the kids listening at home?
That's it. I'll talk Monday about Restaurant Week because it'll be the first day, so we'll talk all about that.
Nice.
Well, this is going to come out on Wednesday, right? Presumably.
Correct.
So,
good point. Good point.
So
Restaurant Week starts Monday, January 30th to February 5th. Go to cvcc.org. And you can see what Cultivate and Hungry Bee is offering, and then all the other 24 other restaurants that are participating. All different menus for every palate and every pocketbook.
But you should definitely try the Black Magic.
So when you're at Cultivate, taking advantage of their bowls, make sure you get. I like this one, Escapade.
Yeah, this is all good. And the other one, Citrus Elixir, was really good
and
too.
An
Thanks for
avocado
bringing
toast.
And the avocado toast, yes.
Awesome. All right.
Thanks for having me.
Thanks for being here.
You're
We're peacing
awesome.
out.
Go be amazing.